The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Here with me today are Brian and Noah. What's up, guys?
Hello. How are you?
I'm tired a little bit. Well, I'm out of it. I just woke up. Like I was supposed to wake up 2 hours ago, get a workout in so I could have a really long day and fit it all in. But I just kept hitting snooze, baby. Just kept hitting it, going back into those dreams, wanting to finish them up. Just having dreams of eating my breakfast, and then, which is such a waste of a dream when you do something in your dream that you're about to do. It's like, let me make out with someone or fly
just tonight also, or this morning. I dreamt that I was doing this podcast.
No way.
But I dreamt that the podcast was being recorded in my kitchen at home on Long Island, and that it was you and two elderly women. Not elderly, but maybe like in their 50s or 60s.
Okay.
And I was late, and I was so late that I decided I'm just not even going to be a part of this episode, and I'll do the next one. But then you kept like trying to bring me into the episode, and I kept going, no, it's okay. I just won't say
boundaries.
Anything. I know.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know.
It means that you need to put your foot down about something, probably.
What?
Maybe with me, maybe not with me. Maybe the old women represented. Wait, isn't it always supposed to be that whatever is in your dream, like the thing that is coming at you is actually you and you're...
I'm the old women?
Yeah, like you. A lot of times people are like, I fell in love with this guy, or what. There was this dog in the dream, and it's like the dog is you. Like most things in the dream are you.
I don't know.
But also, no one knows fucking anything about dreams, really. It's all just guesses.
Yeah.
And I wanted back in, though. Like, I love when you wake up and you're like, I love setting my alarm for super earlier than, like, with all my idea. Like, sometimes I do wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I can get this workout in. Like, the first thing is like, oh, yeah, I want to work out. But this morning I woke up and I go, what the fuck was... Why did I set this so early? And then I was like, oh yeah, well fuck that. Like, and then I just tensed up my muscles to like see if I still had the abs that I've worked so hard for, and I did. So I was excited.
Nice.
And then I was like, I don't need to do a workout this morning. I've been going hard recently.
Yay.
You're post special now. It's time to let loose. Now it's time to let go.
I did a 2-a-day on Monday because I just felt like such garbage. When you come down from a special, it's like coming down from a drug. And so I felt like I went to the lesson, and she was like, maybe I already said this, but she was like, just making comments about like, oh, we're a little out of it today. Or like, she just had to keep reminding me what foot. Like she said the other left probably 18 times. God. Where that, and it got to the point where I just said, will you touch the leg it is? Because I can't even understand what left is. Like I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't with it. So then I was like, I only gave half for this, which is all I had to give. So I gave 100%, but it was just not good. So I said, I'll go to a class later on. And then the class later on only had 2 people in it. So I got like a semi-private 2 times. And then
also, can you come up with some new material? Like the other left, you do it 8 times. I think at that point you should say something else.
It's not even funny anymore. Yeah. Like she's not saying it to be funny. It really is like what they say to get people to do the correct leg.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're really dumb. But they're very forgiving. That's what I like about Pilates is I have yet to have a coach that makes me feel stupid about anything I don't know. And I feel like I have had a lot of trainers in the past in other ways that when I go, what are your obliques? What's a trap? I don't know where the traps are. I think I do. Is it like this area? Like I don't assume and they don't go like, okay, well your traps are up there. Like there's no condescension, even though I would think Pilates is the most condescending of
just the word.
And I'm sorry
Pilates.
I've become obsessed with Pilates. Like the people I hate that do Pilates that talk about it all the time. But now I get it. I'll shut up about, I'm eating crow now about how people talk about it all the time, because when you do something every day, you tend to talk about it no matter what it is.
Sure.
That's great because before you started, you were just kind of like dreading it.
Yes, so much. And dreading someone focusing on the things I can't do well. And it's and now I'm starting to do those things easier. I couldn't tell in the class if she because the class was by someone who I had never trained with. So it was a different instructor there that I had never worked with. And I couldn't tell if she just gave up on correcting me or if I was doing it right. Do you know what I mean? But I have a feeling she just gave up. Not to gave up, but was just like, she's not my client. Like, I don't care if she does it perfectly. And I realized a lot of times I love my 2 women that I work with there, and they are nice enough to not make me like, you have to like really like you have to put the bar up, then you have to put the thing down, and then there's all these like techniques of like you have to sit on the Pilates chair, you have to get in Pilates stance, then you have to put your arms like a genie, and then you have to sit down. And I realized that we don't do a lot of that bullshit. And I thank you to my girls for not making me do that bullshit. And I know that's probably not the way, like we do. Sometimes they go, this is the right way to do it, but we're not gonna do that today. So we're just we'll learn that Pilates stance, like intro to it later. And I like that because I don't need another thing that I'm doing wrong.
Right.
Let's not add let's just keep it as simple as possible, and then we build from there. And I feel like I'm gonna get them in trouble by saying that they don't, because
No, it sounds like they're customizing it for you, which is appropriate.
They're not respecting the art.
Yes, and I like wiping down my thing afterwards. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like wipe.
Oh yeah.
Like I like I'm done with my class. I clean up my station. Like I feel like a little bit of a kindergarten. I've never learned to clean anything after I'm done with it. So it kind of feels like I feel so accomplished. I feel like someone should be like, great job after I like wipe down this dumb thing, because I feel I've never been rewarded for cleaning in that kind of way.
You need like Dora the Explorer Pilates.
Yes.
So that they're all,
you did it.
Yeah. And now we're going to get into this pose. But do you remember back in like the 90s, early 2000s, I guess it was more like early 2000s stand-up, when Pilates was like a joke, when people would make fun of Pilates.
Oh, it's almost like Ford Focus or a Prius, or like it's a punchline.
It was one of those punchlines, because I just think honestly it was because it was Pilates. And then people would say,
great word.
What is it, pilates or whatever? That would be one angle that these comics would take. And it was always to represent some, I don't know, pretentious woman or something in stand-up. Do you remember that? Those days?
I do remember it when it fell on the scene, and I remember a girl talking to me about how Pilates changed my body, and me and all my friends would make fun of her because she would talk about it all the time, of like, it transformed my body, and her body was already amazing. So it was like, she's a model. It was like really obnoxious to hear on top of that that Pilates had changed her body. But yeah, it does change your body, because you're like stretching everything all the time. You get really long. I have obliques for the first time. I didn't know what obliques were. And I have it just on one side. I don't have it on the other. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I had my mom feel my stomach the other day. I was like tensed it and made her like punch me in the stomach. It's just like,
cool.
I'm not doing anything with this body. I mean, yes, I am. It ended up. So I started to do Pilates because I wanted to like look great for my special. But my special ended up having a physical thing element to it that you will see when it comes out, that required an intensely strong core that I did not intend for, and that I would never. We kind of wrote it kind of in the last weeks of preparing for the special. Like,
I don't want to give it away, but at the beginning of the special, it's a pretty big theater, and Nikki comes in on a trapeze swing. She swings in. I'm not going to say how she dismounts, because that's really the impressive part. But she swings in. She's about 25 feet in the air. Swings
not far
in.
From that.
The microphone's up closer to the ceiling, so she's got to grab the microphone. But the real surprise is going to be how she dismounts from the trapeze.
Yes,
that's the funny part.
I'm in a plank on a trapeze.
Yes.
And then I do half of the specials in a handstand. And I slowly lower down to middle splits. By
the way, did we ever figure out what the name of the special is going to be?
No.
It's still not named.
No, I never name them before.
But now it's over. You filmed it.
I know. Well, we don't know what's going to make the cut.
Wow. You know? So yeah, we don't know.
I know it. That's insane. People are like, what's your special name? And I'm like, I don't know. And this is the kind of celebrity I am. I'm not good at planning things. I just like go, I freeball it, man. I just go, and I'm doing a photo shoot for my next tour. And today for 4 hours, and had a call with the photographer. My assistant just wrote me about it. Everyone's asking, what is the name of the tour? So we can like make the photo shoot about the tour and like what kind of poses do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to name it Emma, like a baby or something. Like I want to pick, like, so easy to name a child, but a tour that has a whole attitude and I don't know what I'm talking about yet.
Yeah.
You know, like I just got done making a special, like I'm not taking out the material I just shot on tour. I'm building a new act. And so I don't know what I'm going to be saying.
That's
and
right.
I don't want it to be like, it's in music, it's cool to be cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Like when you're a musician, it's cool to be like, I'm doing the badass tour.
Yeah.
And I'm cool. But in comedy, you can't say
you gotta be
I'm
like,
cool.
yeah, I'm getting rammed up the ass tour or whatever. It's always got to be like my tiny dick tour.
Yes. Or I love Tom Segura's I'm Coming Everywhere tour.
Exactly.
I love that
it's
one.
always got to be some demeaning.
It's got to be a joke.
Degrading.
Yeah.
That made me think you should name children once they're 13. Because if you name them when they're 0, that kind of influences. Like if you named your kid,
But what do you call them until then?
whatever.
Hey, you.
Child
You don't
number
know.
one
You
or
don't
child
know.
number
But then
two?
when they turn 13, you
So
go,
there's some cult that ascribes to
now
this.
that I've seen you, I know that you're a Dylan.
Right. Well, that's so insulting.
You're a Dylan. Whereas
Well,
if
there
you
are
name
Dylans that are adorable. Yeah, they have their hair parted in the middle, and it's right down to their top earlobe.
yeah.
And they look like Ryder Strong, so they're a Ryder or Dylan. Yes, okay.
So if you named your kid Stryker or something or Parker,
Oh,
then
geez.
they're going to be a certain person. It's just going to influence them in some way. But whereas if you
Yes.
wait until they become an asshole, then you can name them Parker.
It is
No
interesting
offense,
that people
Parkers.
become their
Oh,
names.
I know a really nice Parker.
No, Parker seems like a nice person.
I'm just, I think Parker sounds like a rich person. I don't
yeah, I mean,
Not my Parker.
yeah, you
What
can.
think of a man?
Well,
Is it a woman or a man?
It's a man.
Okay, so let's think of a different name then that nobody knows, so I don't offend anyone's friends.
oh, I know someone who parked their car yesterday, and they were a Parker, and they were nice about it. Yeah, it's
No, I was just randomly plucking names. No
It
offense
totally
to Noah's friend
influences-
Parker, who I'm sure is a saint and has no negative qualities.
Yes. Well, yeah, we all do. But I think I see what you're saying. Like, what would happen if the name came later? Like, what kind of person would you be? Because you kind of become your name. Noah is totally a Noah.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean, if she was maybe she became a
But
Noah
she became, that's what I'm
because she
saying,
was
she
named
became
Noah.
Noah.
Yeah.
I don't think her
Oh.
parents were like, she's a Noah. I think she turned into a Noah. I
Yeah.
think your name does dictate the kind of person you become. Not fully, but also they say birth order does something, but then that was recently debunked that birth order really is like nothing, even though it is such a popular meme to be like, I mean, I get targeted constantly of like, I'm the older daughter. I have autism, ADHD, and no one loves me. Like, I get everything I see on Instagram is targeted towards me of being like the firstborn. Everything fell on me. Everyone's an alcoholic around me. I couldn't manage my, temperament. No one sought after my feelings. I played alone. Like, it tries to make you feel so seen about your childhood, but it's so off in many ways.
Yeah.
And people love it. You see all of these likes. Like, I get to see everyone who's fucking struggling when I look at the likes. Anyone who ever likes one of those posts, I get to see all the people who are like, yes, I feel seen. There was a Chris sends me Reductress. We're big fans of Reductress on Instagram. It's pretty
Reductress
like
is great.
the Onion, but for women. And I think it is written by all women. Chris
It was
and I got
started
into
by
a little.
two women at the Magnet Theater. Two performers from the Magnet Theater in New York City,
Really?
which is an improv theater.
I thought it was definitely an offshoot of the Onion. It's not.
No. It was actually pretty wild at the time when they started it because of the Onion and some other things. It was like, is there space for this? And it blew up. They never looked back, and it was amazing.
This one Chris sent me, and I
It
felt
was
seen.
bold.
I mean, the women who do it. The only thing that I have a problem with the Onion, Hard Times News, Reductress, and what's the other one? There's tons of them. These like fake news things that are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who wrote them. Give me an author.
Mm.
I want an
Your
author. I want to
favorites.
credit this joke so I can be like, I want to be able to write the person on Instagram and be like, that was so hilarious. My friend Bobby J. Cox, he said he wrote me a bunch of stuff that's going cool in his life because we share that stuff, and he said that he had just gotten a headline through on Hard Times News, and I was like, fuck yeah, which one? And sometimes Hard Times News uses a picture of Ian because they always make fun of punk culture, and it makes me so happy. Ian Finance, yeah.
It's kind of like when restaurants pool the tips. So like, when you think you're giving your waitress the tip,
I don't like this socialist bullshit. I want to know. Capitalism. I want a meritocracy. I want to know who did what, and I want to give credit because sometimes I don't. You know what? I also don't like it on shows where they go. It's the opposite. On TV shows, they'll be like written by blah blah blah, and you'll be like,
my God.
"This is an amazing episode," and then you realize that person's episode it was touched by everyone else. It wasn't just that person, and people at home, like my mom or dad, are like, well, she wrote that entire episode. And it's like, no, she didn't. She like did the, what's it called? The breakdown and like maybe, you know, she did a lot of the work, but then it becomes, it's the staff. So it's the opposite actually.
Certainly.
But I want to know the authors of The Onion. I want to know who these people are. And that you've never seen anyone take credit for an Onion thing. I've never seen a comedian friend of mine be like, I got a thing through on Reductress. Why aren't they allowed to tell people when they've done this? I think they are told by Reductress and by The Onion that you are not allowed to post which ones you've done, which is dumb to me. Who cares?
These are unfounded conspiracy theories. I've seen people post that they've written a Reductress.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well then Reductress is doing it right, but I've never seen I've never seen it before, and I would like to see more of it because that is, I mean, maybe I'm just a little like
I've seen
baby boo-boo who
I've
needs
seen the
credit for
creator
everything.
of Reductress post a Reductress title and tag the person who wrote the title.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I just haven't seen it, and I apologize for calling out Reductress if they're giving people credit. But I would like a tag on the post itself.
That's right.
What's the harm in doing that?
We need authors on things.
And I think Reductress lady would probably tell me, well, it's that one actually was a lot of people, and then okay, maybe don't tag that one.
Reductress lady says. Reductress lady needs to put authors on things right now.
They're so good though. They can keep doing whatever they want because it's. I would say 9 out of 10 of their article headlines are hilarious. This one I loved. It said, "Nice. This woman achieved something, so now she thinks it must not have been hard. Must have not been hard." I loved that one.
That one speaks to you.
Yeah, Chris sent that one to me to yeah. Does that one not speak to you, Noah? Do you like when you really?
It speaks to me about you because you say that all the time because you think that what you do is easy, but it's not. It's hard.
But it's easy for me. So it is easy in some way. Like, you know, I think there are some people that can play guitar just really well and it just like is who they are. Like they're just born like, yes, they put in hard work, but they pick up a guitar and it's just like easier.
But that's why it's not easy because they put in the hard work.
And also,
some people are inclined to do things better than others. There are some kids that sit down at a piano and they just kind of like, I know what an E and an A. They just have perfect pitch. They were born with it, baby. But then they work hard on top of that.
It's limited though. They have to get practice and education and stuff to expand their knowledge.
Yes, I will give myself credit, but I won't give it because I wasn't born with the brain that made me work hard. That wasn't my choice. It just is the way I got it. I'm lucky. I'm not gifted. God doesn't love me more than he loves people that aren't.
Maybe it's because you're named Nikki.
Nikki is a name, I will say, that is kind of splashy. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I haven't met many Nickis you don't like. You might meet a Nikki that's annoying, i.e. me. I might be a little overbearing sometimes, but a Nikki will be someone that is like happy to see you, has a good smile, maybe is kind of a bitch. I think I'm just describing myself, but like, Nikki's are different than Nicole's, you know, like if I switched to Nicole, it just wouldn't fit. You'd be like, who is this?
Horoscope stuff because like do you feel like you have stuff in common with Nikki Haley, the Republican, running for president right now?
Yeah.
Maybe
like
do,
white
actually.
teeth and kind of like blinky. You know, like kind of like always looking like, let me pull up a picture.
It's got to be Nikki, or can you be like Nicki Minaj also, or Nikki? I don't even know many Nikkis.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj is a CK. Listen, I will say this. Every time I meet a Nikki, I go, she goes, I'm a Nikki. I'm like, oh my God. And I go, how do you spell it?
Uh-huh.
And then if she says Nicki, I go, no. Oh, I love it, but I don't.
No. That's how I am with Brian's. Bryan Brian's. Not, I don't like. I'm not a Bryan Brian. I get offended when people say Bryan. And it's because I don't surf. or skateboard.
Right.
If you're
okay.
Bryan, you are on the beach. You are wearing a puka shell necklace. You've got a Harley.
It sounds like
hat.
it was your choice to change it to BRY to me. Like it sounds like your parents gave you BRI and you in high school were like, my friend Lauren in high school changed her E to a Y. And we like Lauryn Hill. And we were all like, no, that's not who you are. But it sounded like Brian with a Y sounds like a choice. What about Robbins with a Y? I don't hate it.
My mom.
They don't change for me.
My mom's name is Karen, which has been very difficult for her over the last several years.
I bet.
She's a white lady named Karen. But her name is spelled Caryn. And that's not something she changed.
Okay, yeah. Well, not now she isn't. She's like, it's different.
Yeah.
You spelled my name right on my Starbucks cup.
That's
She's
right.
like being a Karen about being a different kind of.
I want to speak to your manager about how my name was spelled.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, I have a lot more to say about names, and we'll read through some more Reductress things to see if we relate after this. Can I ask about your mom's name? Like, is she truly like feeling discriminated against? Because I've read so much about people named Karen and how it's like some have changed their name because it's just it's so negatively connotated now.
It was really surprising for me because when it happened, because everyone was like, Karen, people are like mad at Karens all the time.
I wonder how it started.
And I was
There's
like,
gotta be an etymology of it.
Someone
had to have done a report.
I didn't know what it meant. And then someone was like, that woman was acting like a Karen. And I was like, she made you pizza bagels?
Wasn't there like a rude lady and her name was Karen and that's how they started it?
No, I don't think it was based on... It just
sounds like the white lady of that age group that would... It's like a 40 to 65-year-old name for a white lady.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yes.
Could have been Susan. Could have been any of us. At any point in time, one of our names could get sucked up into the negative machine.
You know, everyone made fun of John and Kate +8. That hairstyle was the Karen hairstyle. And I think Kate, her name being Kate, kind of influenced it. Kate's not a good enough name to be like, you're a Kate. So they think they chose something close to that based on the hairstyle from John and Kate +8 is my guess. Can I just say, though, that Nikki Haley, there can't be a president, Nikki. No offense to me. But that's not a president name.
No.
It just ain't happening.
Maybe president of the cheer club.
Yeah, exactly. But Nikki's, I guess Nikki is it's a prostitute name. It's a stripper name.
Cheerleader name.
And I say that with love. I am saying that with, I'm glad that I have that kind of cool name. My mom always said that she named me Nicole in case when I became a professional person.
Yes.
Like, so I would go by Nikki. And so Nicole was on my birth certificate when I became a lawyer or a professor. And it never happened. It's actually been a huge burden on my life to be named Nicole on every document. And it not be, but it is my real name. But what does that even fucking mean? It's just on some papers. But literally no one calls me it except Sherrod Small.
What's sad for me is that Brian, which is my name, in case you didn't know, is become one of the names comedians use in their act outs to indicate like it's like a funny, stupid name. Like, and then Brian said it's happening more and more, and I don't like it.
Yeah, Stacy.
Brian's become
is another
one of
name.
Oh yeah, Stacy, you're in the comedian
I think
bucket.
Brian. Yeah, you are. Brittany, Stacy. Because there are certain names I go to, and I go, where did I even come? Like, no one I know is named that name. I just picked it in the act because it's a funny sounding name, and it kind of. And certain names do personify exactly the thing you want to say. Like, I had a joke in my special where I said Aunt Gail. I don't have an Aunt Gail. I know Ian's mom's name is Gail. So maybe I just picked Aunt Gail is a funny you
name.
Can like picture what she looks like.
Yes.
And I don't have one. But for a while I was saying an uncle's name that I actually have, and I was struggling with that because I was like, why can't I pick a different uncle? Because it was a really dirty joke about like wanting to have sex with your uncle.
Yeah.
And I kept saying this uncle that I do have, and I'm like, why? And it became a part of the joke. I'm like, why do I pick a real uncle's name for that? And people would laugh. And I'm like, there's literally thousands of men's names, and I can't. But I do have many uncles because my mom has 10 kids in her family. So it's Nancy, Jimmy, Michael, Julie, Tommy, Peggy, Chucky, Sally, mom and dad. Right. Nancy, Jimmy, Michael, Julie, Tom or Peggy, Chucky, Sally, Patty, mom and dad, or something like that. It's
Which one is TV?
Bobby. Nancy, Jimmy, Michael, Julie, Tomer, Peggy, Chucky, Bobby, Sally, Mom, and Dad. Yes, okay. I missed Bobby. Thank you. Wow, Noah. TV Bob is Bobby. Whoa. Wow. And then I have 2 on the other side too, so it's a lot. But yeah, names are crucial. Oh wait, let me go back to Reductress stuff because I think I want to I want to relate to more because these are so good. And wait, so it was they came out of what improv school?
Well, they didn't come out of, but yes, they were. One of them was a teacher at the Magnet Theater in New York City, which is the improv.
Is that anything to do with like the Magnet schools? Because those are like gifted schools.
No, not at all. It was basically like the 3rd tier theater in New York City. They came up 3rd. It was the Upright Citizens Brigade, which was like the alpha dog. And then it was the Pit, the People's Improv Theater was the 2nd theater. And the Magnet came out 3rd. And the Magnet's whole deal was they don't care about the industry. They're not interested in making people famous. They are only interested...
Maybe that's why they don't share the names.
They are only interested in being a community where people can go and practice improv. Whereas if you wanted to be famous, you go to UCB and then somewhat you go to the Pit. We know how many people came out of UCB and then Pit, like Kristen Schaal came out of and others. Magnet, nobody came out of, or it seems like nobody came out of. There's like a few people.
I think I did a couple shows there.
Yeah, but it was a good theater, and then hilariously...
And then I go, they're not going to make me famous. I got to get the fuck out of here.
But that was the whole point. Famously, SNL did a sketch where they had a black box theater one-person show they were making fun of, and they chose the Magnet Theater as the setting where they would film this sketch as like a lame, uncool black box theater. And in the Magnet Theater, the bathrooms are very close to the stage. So when you're on stage doing improv, occasionally you can hear a toilet flush.
Oh my God.
And then someone comes out and they're like, you know that they just shit or piss in
Where
there.
was the Magnet Theater real quick? Just
29th Street between 8th and 7th, 8th and 7th Avenue. Yeah. And so because of that...
Wait, is it still there? No.
Well, that's the end of the story. Because of that, SNL added that into the sketch where they're like, and also you can hear the toilet flush from the stage. So like, it was just like kind of embarrassing.
When you went to the Magnet Theater after that SNL sketch came out, was everyone talking about it like in the bar area? Like, yeah, they made fun of us this weekend.
A little bit, yeah. But here's the thing.
Wait, did you buy into this whole thing of like no one wants to be famous?
No, and that's why a lot of people.
This place?
I don't want to be famous, but that's why people disliked me. I performed at the Magnet. I was on 6 different house teams at the Magnet while I was in New York.
Jesus Christ!
But I was on so many house teams because I would be on a team and my team would get broken up, but. People didn't like me there so much because I was doing stand-up and they felt like I had an air of superiority, I think, because I was like, I'm trying to actually make it. Whereas I think if you wanted to be part of the crew there, you had to be like, we're separate from that. We're not trying to make it. We just want to hang out, you know?
I would love to see how many famous people would still be doing the thing that they do if fame were not a thing. If money and fame and influence were not the rewards of the labor, how many would still do it? I think it's many.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all. But I do think that is a bad business model.
Well, here's what happened.
Because our society is obsessed with fame.
I get that. But here's what happened. COVID happened. COVID happened and the UCB theater shut down. The Pit shut down. Guess which theater is the only one that didn't shut down?
Maggie.
The Magnet. And it's because they were based on a community of people who all just wanted that place to survive. And it still exists and the other 2 are gone.
Whoa, it still exists?
Yes.
Okay, I eat my words again. Crow.
So they were right. I mean, all they needed,
That's why your mom loves you.
They survived the pandemic because of the community and because it wasn't just like, well, I can't be famous here anymore, so I'm gonna leave.
No, it's a nice idea, and I always wonder like, would I do think that a part of the appeal. I mean, stand up. It's absolutely part of the appeal is that you get immediate attention and love for what you're doing in front of a live audience. I was being interviewed yesterday by someone in Denver because I have 2 shows coming up in Denver, December 30th and December 31st, New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve at the Paramount Theater. So excited for those shows. Haven't been back to the Paramount since I shot my last special there, Good Clean Filth. So I'm glad to go back and not have to do a special and just be done with my special and doing new fun material, plus stuff I shot in the special that's, I'll be freer with now. You can see the Trapeze Act. But
also, halfway through, Nikki climbs up on a 25-foot ladder. And she stands on this platform, and underneath there's a big pool of water that she dives into. I won't say what trick she does to land, but it's really amazing.
Oh yeah, that's the surprise of it.
Yeah, the tricks. I mean, it's really an incredible special. I've never seen anything like it, honestly.
It's no, the ending did require so much core. It was so ironic because everyone goes, "How did you do that? How the fuck did you do that ending?" And people are marveling at it. And I go, Pilates, yo. I never would have been able to do this thing that we ended up writing, not because I could do it. We were just like, what if you did this thing? And I was like, let me try it. No one who doesn't do Pilates could have done that. And I'm not even that good at it because I'm not that good at Pilates, but it was just ironic that the thing I did to have like a fucking cool body was really in the end about having the strength to do this final thing that I did.
And that's the excuse. That's the excuse you have to say. It's like, well, I'm not doing it to look good. I'm doing it because I require my body to be able to perform the act.
Yes. But I do want to look good. But it is about feeling good. It's about feeling strong and feeling
Sure.
like solid and not like wiggly jiggly and like all my joints are just like it's nice to feel compact and like everything is coming from your powerhouse, because if you do Pilates, everything comes from your powerhouse. Literally, you move your toe from your abs. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It still doesn't to me, but she'll be like, move your ankles from your abs. And I'm just like, what could that even mean? And I don't think even you know what that means.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that is actually physically possible. I think this is all theory, which I also do like because a lot of it is mental. You just have to think about it and then it happens. It's a lot like singing. It's like you have to picture the thing. Like my voice teacher yesterday was like, keep the sound in front of you in this little bubble. And like suddenly when I pictured the sound in a little bubble in front of my nose, the sound didn't fall back in my face because I was just visualizing this thing that's not even real. So wait, what was I just going to say about?
You were talking about an interview that you did yesterday.
Oh yeah, I did an interview yesterday, and so thank you. And so the guy was asking me about, he had all these prepared questions. It was really sweet. It was adorable actually, and he had one that was like, what's the difference between different mediums that you perform in on TV and stand-up and podcasting? Which one is the most gratifying, and which one satisfies you the most? And I'm like, I do think that why stand-up is so special is because even though podcasting is so fun and it's laid back and I don't feel the pressure that I feel with stand-up where everything has to be so on and like there's nonstop hilarious, and I just feel more myself on a podcast, and which is just so nice for all the reasons that is nice. It's like the first class of performing. You're just relaxed. But stand-up, I don't hear people listening to this podcast right now going, oh my God, that's so true. I hear you guys, but you're also on the podcast. You don't hear people that have no stake in it letting you know, like, you're right. We like you constantly. Oh my God,
that's so true.
And so, yes, thank you. So that's why stand-up is great. And we all know that, like, that's why stand-ups do it. But I think we forget that sometimes that's what stand-ups are after, is that immediate feedback.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I just don't believe anyone does stand-up that isn't insecure. And I have no problem saying I'm insecure. Even Anya doesn't like to hear the word insecure. I think she grew up with a mom who said, it is so sad that these girls are insecure. It's just so sad when women are insecure. So Anya doesn't like to be categorized as insecure. Because I'll say it all day that I'm insecure. I'd have no problem with it. It's kind of, I don't know. It just is the way it is. It doesn't.
Issa Rae.
Oh yeah, Issa Rae. Like even I went to Issa Rae's like. Oh yeah, very common crossword puzzle answer.
She
had a show called
Issa
Insecure.
Rae is in the New York Times crossword puzzle like every month.
She's in it as much as Agara, the capital of Ghana.
Yes.
and a man named blank, a Tom Hanks film, Otto.
Oh God, yeah. Or mining
or
for mining
gold
or whatever,
or a tribe, a Great Plains tribe, Oto.
Oh God, enough of that
O-T-O-E.
shit.
Enough of Oto, man. I'm always putting Opie in there, and it's not right. Opie, they will, because isn't Hopi is a tribe, right?
Yeah.
So I get Oto and Opie, and
I always put Utes, UTES.
Oh,
the Utes of Utah. No,
Etna, volcano.
Yeah.
Common crossword.
It's getting out of control. Anyways,
it's out of. There are sometimes that it will be 3 days in a row of the same clue.
Oh yeah.
Where you'll get there's other ones too that happen all the time, and Bo and Yang was in the crossword puzzle the other day, and I got very excited, and I sent him a little message.
You were in the crossword puzzle too.
Yeah, I was in the crossword puzzle.
You almost have the EGOT
May.
of clues because you were in Jeopardy and the New York Times crossword puzzle. Is there any more that you could be in?
I said no, I don't think there's any more.
What about a Trivial Pursuit card or something?
Or like a
That
Wheel
would
of
be nice.
Fortune
What would be the
answer.
EGOT?
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune would be cool. And I
Wheel of
wasn't that too
Fortune.
because I did Wheel of Fortune this year, and one of my name was one of the clues.
Oh yeah,
It was one of the things,
You
even though
almost
I was
have the
Celebrity
EGOT.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
I
still counts.
almost still counts. No, the weirdest thing about that Jeopardy thing. So my name was used in one of the not questions, but I guess answers. And then the question was, what is Blind Date? Which was a show that I hosted that I literally forgot I hosted.
Well, that was Jeopardy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Jeopardy. So on Jeopardy, it was like, if your friend set you up on one of these, also a show hosted by Nikki Glaser, you might want to not turn it down. And it was like, what is a blind date? And Chris and I were watching it because someone texted me. The first person to text me is Colin Donnell. I think he was actually one of the first people to text me about the crossword puzzle too. And it was a Sunday crossword puzzle. So Colin Donnell is a smart guy. He's watching Jeopardy. He's watching he's the crossword puzzle. Colin Donnell, he is on Chicago Hospital Chicago. One of those shows. He's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's a big TV star.
Yeah.
But he was I went to high school with him.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, he's awesome. And he was like my first date. I didn't know it was a date, but we went to see Bare Naked Ladies. Chicago Med. He's on Chicago Med.
Chicago Med.
He's a very handsome man.
Fire
He's
country.
What was that?
Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. There's a lot of them. There's a whole Chicago night.
There's a lot of those. I'm
Yeah.
sure he does cameos on the others. I'm sure it's a whole community, and it's very incestuous in terms of them starring in each their things. But yeah, he's up in Chicago in that Fire or that Med. And but yeah, he sent me a thing that was like, holy shit, Jeopardy. And I was like, I was with Brian on a Zoom call when I got it.
Yeah.
You were the first person I told because Chris was down getting our Uber Eats, and I was like, Brian, oh my God, I'm on Jeopardy.
So cool.
And we were both like, oh my God, let's find it. So we went and watched it. And then Chris came back in and was like, wait, what is what's the answer to this? Like, he couldn't even answer the question. My parents were both like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I hosted Blind Date. I was like the voice
That's
for
a
Blind Date.
deep cut.
A deep
Nikki Glaser,
cut.
deep cut.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
No,
Isn't that where Jackpot came from?
Jackpot came from that word because I was like, it's a blind date jackpot. And Emil and Andrew were at the voiceover for it. And I kept saying, jackpot. And they were like, then we went nuts with jackpot after that. And that is why Andrew Collin has jackpot tattooed on his arm to this day. I can't wait till what he does to cover it up someday. Jackpot. And I love I wonder what he says when people ask what it's about. I just love that he has to tell the story. But actually the Puddles tattoo is a funnier story that he has to tell. But anyway, so then my dad texts me 4 days later and was like, you're not the only family member who made it on Jeopardy. Who made it on Jeopardy this week.
What?
And
What?
This week?
okay, let me just play it.
Oh my God.
This is so nuts. Sorry for this pause.
Who is this other family member? I can't even
That's
guess
why
it.
I go, there's no fucking way. Like, how could that happen? And this brings us back to names too.
Sometimes you can see this green, sometimes called Lincoln green, for the trees. Dennis. What is forest green? That's right.
Woo!
Oh.
My nephew's whole name, much like my whole name, was in the show. How often does Forest Green get said? I mean, it's not that big of a coincidence. It's not special. It's not destiny. There's no signs from God.
all
I'm
right,
just
all
saying,
right.
Forest Green is a
He's
color
gonna
that
love
my
this
sister
story.
chose.
I think it
my
was
sister
destiny.
chose.
You know what, Nikki? I think just for the sake of interest, I am going to go full hog on Destiny. I'm going to be the Destiny guy now.
faithful.
It was Destiny.
You're the fourth member of Destiny's Child.
Yes, that's right.
Prosperity. Yeah. Wait.
Oh, you still want to pull up that Reductress article?
Yeah, I found one that I relate to.
Let's hear it.
It says inspiring. I love the ones that start with like nice or inspiring.
They invented that, I believe. I love it.
I think they did too.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I go, I don't know what this is, but then now I'm bought in.
Throw
I love
some
things
emotion
like that.
into the title.
I love it. I love things where you at first go, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
and then you buy in hard.
Oh yeah.
This is always my point when people go, "What is this?" and I go, "There was a time where Tom Hanks." You go, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
Everything takes a second to let it in. Our first reaction when something is new is always like, "Ugh."
Yeah, and sometimes it never.
Everything is
works.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was new to you at one point. You saw him for the first time and were probably like, you're not born knowing everything and being used to everything. So let new things in your life. I have to remind myself sometimes because I go, why? So, okay, it says inspiring. This millennial works hard so the previous generation can have a better life. And it shows this woman with her parents. And I relate to that. But I like working hard for my parents.
Yeah, you know what? There was a moment at Thanksgiving where I said to my dad that I feel like your generation is your generation just took everything and you're the generation of using things because they ruin the environment and blah, blah, blah. And now they're all enjoying their retirement and we're kind of we can't even own a home or pay our student loans. And then I saw my dad just feel really bad. And then I felt terrible because I was like, well, I want you to enjoy your life. I don't like saying that their whole generation is bad because my dad would like nothing more than to provide for our generation. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
And it's not his fault, but it also... We would have done the same thing if we were born in their generation.
I love my dad, and I do not blame him for climate change.
That's nice of you, Brian.
Yes.
Okay, another one was Uncle has weed pen this year. It's for Christmas. It's just a man with a strong point of view pointing with a weed pen. Yeah, they're always funny. They always make me. I just love when someone can nail something so specific that you're like, whoa, that's so me. But I can't believe that, Noah, you've never felt like something you get credit for when people are like, good job. You're just like, well, it was not that. It's
comes easy to me.
I can't believe you don't relate to that.
I've definitely felt that.
Okay, you have. Okay.
But I don't, I guess I don't really I don't diminish what I do because it comes easy. I know that it comes easy to me because I've done it for so long and I've suffered a lot to get to the point where it feels easy.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so you don't focus on how there are people that are probably doing this thing that you do better than you because they did work hard. You don't focus on that more than the fact that you worked hard?
I focus on my annoyance for people who think that it's easy and who think they're all that and that they can do what I do. When I do it well.
That's interesting because I don't give a fuck about that. When people are have a special and they got it before they were ready for it. And I just go, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't the proof will be in the pudding. When people get things, I don't really get jealous because unless I think they're going to knock it out of the park because they work harder than me, then I get jealous. But if they get it and I know that they're going to flub it, and either not ask for the right help to get them to the level they should be at, or they're going to just be bad on their, just not work hard enough on their own.
Yeah.
I just am I can't wait to see that.
No, it's bad for your career. It bugs me
when I know they're good.
It's bad for your career anyway if you have a special before you're ready. It's just because then you go up there and it's bad, and then people are like, oh wait, I guess this person wasn't as funny as I thought they were.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it.
And it's yeah, but how do you turn that down?
You can't. That's the other. Yeah, you can't.
So I also don't get when comedians talk about I can't believe this guy got this thing. I'm like, was he supposed to turn it down?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Sorry, this guy's
How
popular
about some humility. Maybe they can have some humility and
you can't have humility in this industry. If you want to make it, you're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to go out topless if you want to make it.
Well, that's what Chris told me I should do as a topless special. And I'm like,
What?
that would have been good 2 years ago. They're not in the, I need a lift to do a topless special.
You could still
It'd be
do it.
so distracting. And then the theater might get like hot and then your nipples change. It would be too distracting. It would be like, like a mood, when like the color changes on the
Didn't you have a
background when
topless
people have a mood
billboard?
shift. Did I have a topless billboard?
for banging, remember?
Yeah, it was like it was like my whole body was covered up. It looked as if I was naked, but
enough
wasn't,
with the
obviously.
gimmicks. You need to stand behind the fact that you go on stage and you ride a unicycle while juggling flaming.
I was gonna say like there's a couple gimmicks and there's just one gimmick in this special, but it's fitting and it's funny. All right, let's talk about what I should name my fucking tour when we get back, because I really need some help. Maybe it's called My Fucking Tour, but then radio stations can't talk about it. And it sounds like I'm mad about it. And I'm not. I'm so excited. Okay, we'll talk about My Fucking Tour when we get back. Okay, we're back. I just want to say that we recorded this before Christmas. That's when we're not talking about Christmas yet. But I'm guessing I had a great Christmas.
Me too. Yes, I'm guessing
I
you
always
did.
have a...
You're going on a trip soon, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm going on a trip.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, we recorded ahead of time because we wanted this week off. And I'm going skiing
Cool.
before my shows this weekend in Denver,
That's
the 30th
so cool.
and 31st.
I'm jealous of that.
It's in Denver.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going skiing before that in Beaver Creek. Look for me if you're out there. I'm going to be sloshing down the blue slopes, maybe getting one black diamond, mostly blues. I can't wait to be on chairlifts. I can't wait to be...
Oh, you're going to be so strong for skiing from Pilates.
Dude, it all worked out. I'd be so nervous about the ski trip because I'm not even going to say what I don't want to happen because I'm not going to manifest that. Like, I'm manifesting strength and just I just want to have those moments going down a ski slope and thinking, I need to do this more in my life. This is the happiest I ever am, is going fast down a blue diamond, safely, fast, and feeling so strong and confident and having the wind whipping in my face and feeling perfectly warm, but also cold at the same time. It is the greatest feeling known to man for me, besides like orgasms and stuff like that, or like, finding out someone you hate, something bad happened to them.
Oh, that and orgasms. I don't even know which one's number one.
I actually am not someone who like revels in that stuff that much
You ever
anymore.
jerk off to something bad that happened to an enemy? Now that's...
I could.
Yeah.
I probably could. I like when someone just like has a flop of a thing. It makes me so happy when someone puts out something that it's like so not funny. It just
when someone gets a cartoon and then it just sucks and then it gets canceled after one season and they didn't deserve it. Only they didn't deserve it.
God.
Oh, I love that. I love
the
that.
amount of people who have had this feeling about all the things that I have done that aren't great that have been canceled is probably a lot. Also because I do it, so it's probably happening.
Well, then people are doing it to
too.
you. Yeah. So you got to do it back. You got to give and take. But then you just got to succeed.
I used to have the thing where someone would say, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I'm like, that's the dumbest. I would wish.
Your worst enemy?
Yeah, people say, I mean,
Yes,
that's a turn
of
of
course
phrase,
you would.
It's like, but of course you
Your
would.
worst
you
enemy.
Are not the person you hate
you
the
wouldn't
most
wish
in
that,
the world.
that Hitler would have a sty on his eye? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
They always say
You
it about
wouldn't-
something small.
It's so, yes, exactly. You wouldn't wish that Donald Trump's flight was delayed 3 hours out of LaGuardia? You wouldn't? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I would. I wish horrible things. Not I wish them on people, but yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of, like, I guess that's what my, I think maybe my tour should be like called like Bad Thoughts or like Bad Person. Or like something like the Unwanted Thoughts, or I know that was a Maria Bamford special. It's so hard to come up with something that hasn't been done by another comedian too.
Yeah, you can't call it bad because that's Michael Jackson.
I can't call it.
What about Thriller?
Eras.
You can call it Thriller.
That's true. I could do Thriller.
Man in the Mirror.
Yes, like Woman in the Mirror.
Woman
Okay,
in the
let's do
Mirror.
a spin.
Yeah.
I could do like a take on a Taylor Swift tour. Like,
Yeah.
if
Well, no, you
like-
can't because Joe Pera did it.
Errors.
He called
tour.
it the Pera's tour.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. There have been compilations of all the times she fucked up on the Eras tour, and it was called the Errors tour.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
she fucks up like one time every 18 shows, and it's like the cutest thing ever. So she's flawless.
The
But,
Pera's tour is funny because Joe Pera could not be more opposite to Taylor Swift than he is.
Yeah.
And so, and so it would be less funny for you because you're much closer to Taylor Swift than, it's too close. You're too close to Taylor Swift to have it be funny to name your thing after a Taylor Swift tour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's Lover, there's Folklore, there's Evermore, there's Speak Now, Fearless, Fearful.
I don't think people would take that.
People wouldn't connect it.
Yeah.
And Eras, there's no other I wouldn't feel like I was stealing from Joe Pera if I did a rhyme with Eras. But yeah, it's just, there's nothing there. I really don't know what to do.
So far, all of your specials have been kind of plays on sexual terms. You've got bangin'. Well, no, you have perfect. That's not necessarily, but it's based on, so you have bangin', perfect. And then you have your tours too. The Good Girl tour.
And One Night with Nikki Glaser, also kind of a sexual connotation, like a one night stand.
Yeah. You had Not Safe with Nikki Glaser.
Yep.
You had Good Clean Filth.
Unprotected.
Raw Dog.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser.
Well, that's
Come on, Nikki Glaser.
Bill Cosby's book is called Come On People.
Oh, no way.
Come
really?
on, comma, people. Yeah. Let me just make sure it's Bill Cosby.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
That's so
and
funny.
And the book looks like cum. It's like white. Let me see, make sure it's Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Maybe
oh my God.
Like a phrase.
Okay.
What if it's like, okay,
You've got to see Noah or somebody. Can you pull up this picture?
Yeah, please.
And then just hold it up to the camera. It's called Come On.
How could it look like cum? I'm so confused.
I am telling you, it looks like cum.
I'm so excited.
I have to find this.
Hold on, I got it.
Cum. It's called.
You got it, Noah?
Yeah.
You have the actual cover that I'm talking about, though?
I believe
the
so.
original.
Is it blue? Is it blue?
Yeah, it's blue. All right, show it.
Okay. Here we go. Drum roll.
Yeah, here it is.
Go.
Sorry for people at home. This is on YouTube. You got to go to youtube.com/Nikki Glaser podcast. Look at that.
Oh my God.
It's called
what
Come On People.
Fuck?
I mean, does that not look like little cum droplets?
Wait. I am so confused because it's not even come on. Come on people is C''MON. You guys, this is come, COME on ON people.
Yeah. Well, cum is spelled CUM, but
by the way, I know, but there also is no comma, which is come on people.
No,
this is come on people.
Come on people, and then it's a blue cover.
It's a blue cover, and then there are footsteps. It appears the footsteps are white, but they look like droplets of cum. And
then look at the subtitle. Look at the subtitle.
On the path from victims to victors.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's saying something.
There's a path. So it's like footprints that look like little jizz droplets.
Yes.
And it says each droplet has it says respect on it. The other one says caring. One says hope. One says skills.
Yes.
One says Spanish fly.
That's how he views his cum.
Disgusting.
Ew.
What? I mean, in plain sight,
and then
right?
the co-author is Alvin F. Poussaint, which kind of sounds like pussy, but also, I mean, Alvin. If you're named Alvin, of course you're going to co-write a book with Bill Cosby. It's inevitable.
Where's that guy today, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, you wanted to bring up something that happened before
so we didn't talk about how we went to go see Jimmy Carr at the Moore Theater the night before your taping.
Yeah, bad idea. Final thought. Bad idea. Because he's so good.
Yeah.
It really got in my head. I got thrown.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the same theater I'm shooting my special at the next night. I'm watching Jimmy Carr's show. I'm comparing, contrasting.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what I'm doing the whole time is like, I can't even laugh because I'm so angry that I didn't write all those jokes and that I just couldn't relax. I couldn't have fun because I was so in my head of like, he's so good. I'm such crap. Like it was not good for my self-esteem. I will not do that next time. I will not, in the theater of which I'm taping my special, go see someone who's been doing it, I would guess at least 10 years longer than me. I will never do that again. I will go see someone who's been doing it 10 years less than me so I can feel superior. But it was an amazing show. There's no question.
Yeah, you should just go
And then we
see
get to meet him afterwards.
me at the theater before you.
No, you're amazing. You're really, really fucking good. I mean, but yes, that was my takeaway, was like an unsettled feeling after that of like, it's too late to change anything. I can't be more like Jimmy Carr. I could have seen anyone and been like, I need to be like that person. You know, I was so in my head the night before doing this.
You could have seen Jeff Dunham and you'd be like, I think I need puppets. I think I need puppets.
That's so true. It really could have gone either any way that way. Just someone who has been in the business longer than me, who just I just compared myself to, and so I was a little spirally after that moment.
So while you were comparing yourself,
you learn things.
I mean, I think the takeaway for me from Jimmy Carr was, first of all, he obviously gave us free tickets, and we went and we sat in great seats and we watched his show.
Seats.
And he was also, I hear,
tickets.
incredibly gracious. His team was incredibly gracious, allowing your team to go into the theater the night before to set up everything. And so he was amazing.
Aww.
But the takeaway for me was when we went to the green room and we met Jimmy Carr, and he was so nice. He was so cool. And he was making eye contact with not just you. He didn't put all his focus on you. He made eye contact with
sometimes
everybody.
people can do. Yeah.
He saw all of us. He respected all of us. We all contributed to the conversation. He was so kind to you and so had such great things to say about you, and just was awesome. And I actually liked his stand-up more after I met him in the green room, because he was so cool in the green room. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew he was that nice. So, because I've met him obviously a lot of times. And I've been a fan of his for so long. I mean, I think he's one of the best joke writers of our time. And just what a polished and perfect performance.
Yes. Flawless.
Flawless.
Even the new jokes that he says, he writes new jokes for every single show, and then at the end of his show he reads them off a piece of paper to test them every show. And even his new jokes felt like, are these new, really?
They were so good.
Yeah.
It was so much stuff that I loved. So I was trying to think of, he had one joke, I don't want to ruin anything, but he was just talking about, he has a lot of good jokes about I liked his chunk about date rape. And I liked his about saying like, it's, it's like he pretty much takes this kid in the audience and he asks this kid, like a younger kid, he was 19 years old, like, when is it okay to have sex with a girl? Like, when is she consenting? And he walks through like a whole date night of like, when is it okay now? And he's like, no, it's not okay yet. Like he keeps, and it really is like, he brings up a point of like how women will have sex a lot of times just out of like, I've already gotten this far, like I don't really want to. I'm saying yes, but my body is saying no. He like literally gets into that of like, if her body is as tense as your dick is hard, that is a no. Even if she's saying enthusiastically yes, that's not enthusiastic. Her body, and I'm like, but what if it's my obliques? What if I'm just like a fucking rock hard because I'm working so hard? And that was really funny. And I mean, he had too many jokes that I can even, every time I would be like, remember this one, it would be replaced with a new one that was so fucking good. And a lot of stuff about pedophilia, which I loved. A lot of stuff about, just sex and relationships. What was your takeaway, Brian?
From his set or from?
Yeah. What do you remember? Any standout moments that you
my favorite part of his set was when he started telling a personal story about his baby being born, because it was a departure from his usual stand and deliver, like set up punch. And I would like to see more of that from Jimmy Carr. I want to see an hour where he's like talking about his life. That would be cool to see, because I know that he can infuse the same number of jokes into those personal stories. And then I also get to learn more about Jimmy Carr, which is why I was saying after we met him, I liked his stand-up even more, because I got to know the guy. Whereas when he's just delivering like really quality jokes, you don't get to know him at all. But then when he delivered that story, I was like, yeah, this would be cool to see, like, who is this guy? More about him.
Yeah. Well, I saw a clip of him last night, actually, on Birbiglia's podcast, where he said that there was a girl who came to a show and she was celebrating her second life-versary or something. It was something like, I was going to kill myself this day, but I was waiting till my parents fell asleep so I could do it when they were asleep. And while I was waiting for them to fall asleep, I was on YouTube. Can you imagine, like, I'm waiting to die and I'm just going to pull up YouTube? Like, that's the kind of thing that fascinates me about, life, is that you do these mundane things when you're getting ready to do something so insane. even like we're getting ready to tape my special. Not that it's in comparison to taking your own life, but like backstage, like talking about like, oh, peanut M&Ms or whatever. Like you're just talking about something mundane right before you do something big. But she was watching Jimmy Carr clips as she was waiting to kill herself. And then she started laughing, and then she watched some more and she kept laughing. And then she like kind of didn't want to do it anymore because she was laughing so much. And she said that she was celebrating 20 or 15 years or whatever of being like her second half of life. And I just thought that was really cool. And he seemed very moved by that.
The exact opposite happened with someone who was going to kill themselves or was actually going to live, and then they started watching Mark Maron clips, and then they decided to kill themselves.
There are so many people that can't tell that story to him because they're gone now.
Yes.
Yeah. His special, I like. What is the title of his?
I'm not saying that Mark Maron's a bad comedian. I'm saying that he's a depressing comedian. FYI.
Yes, and that's what I like about Mark is that he's just like things are bad as he sits on the stool like a little gargoyle.
Yeah.
And I liked the name of his last special. I forgot what it was, but
I think it was Lil Gargoyle.
What is it?
Oh, sorry.
Lil Gargoyle.
No, shut up, Brian. I heard your dumb joke.
End times fun.
No, end times
I'm suppressing
fun.
a lot of anger always. No,
you sound like ChatGPT, like Mark Maron's. We should ask ChatGPT to name my next special. Can we do that?
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Or name my tour.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way to end.
I would love it.
I wonder if I can still do ChatGPT because they have now upgraded it to.
Okay, hold on. I'll try to log in.
I just need help. Peeking?
Maybe it should be. I just need help. That's what my you know how you can do
cry for help.
You can do
Nikki
Instagram on your Instagram. You can now leave notes on. You know about the notes where it's like in your messages. You can now leave a note and it just says like a lot of people use it to like plug their tour, which is a little silly.
So like you respond, it responds to the person right away.
If you go into Instagram and then you go into messages. On the top of, above all of your messages, above where it says primary general requests, there's like a bunch of circles of people's profiles, and above them is
nowhere isn't
little notes.
Not for me.
And so like my friend Dwight Simmons is saying Indie Thursday, Dayton Friday and Saturday, and then Jayung Summers is saying 1221 LA, 121 New York City, like this is what, and then like my friend Shaq Stanley has just put a Mariah Carey song up there. So I always put in my note, please help, period, and that's just what I put every single time. And occasionally people message me and they go, "Are you okay?" And it's just what I put every single time, just in case you want to message me that.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I like the idea of saying like someone help her or like a Nikki Glaser, a cry for help. Nikki Glaser. I just don't know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm always talking about the same shit, like my life, my observations on life. Like I don't have this like overarching, like I'm telling it like it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it like a phrase like, can you believe these people? Like I don't want to have it be like a quote, but I also
we had this idea of peaking was a title. There was also this like turning point, something that has to do with it being a turning point for you, where it's like this is an inflex point where you are. This is kind of like you're turning that age where decisions have to be made and things are going to change from this point forward in all aspects of your life and your career.
What about like balls to the wall or like some kind of like because I think or like a tits out or like I can't say tits though. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. That is always the problem. you can't say tits, but like some kind of like I don't care anymore. Like something that says that or of like no I don't want to. I want to do this. I'm excited to be here, but I'm not like. 6 years ago, 0 fucks given. You know what that that kind of thing.
What about
like
bare naked lady?
I'm cool.
Oh, you really like that one. So three stifled ums.
Oh, actually, speaking of naked, I have some exciting news to talk about on the show tomorrow.
Oh shit!
That I will share because I got an email asking me to do something that I've been wanting to do a while, and besties who've been listening a long time might know what it is. But I finally got the call, and she ready. She ready. is a good title, but Whitney.
So would you be willing?
Tiffany
Would you be
Haddish.
willing
I
to
almost said
take
Whitney Houston. Sorry,
submissions?
Tiffany.
Yes. So besties, can you write to us? What do you think Nikki should name her next special?
Please, God, I might actually ask them before this because I really need to pick a special name like today.
Okay.
And today is actually a week ago.
Right.
So I might put it on our Instagram story because I do
crowdsource
need
this.
help.
Yes.
Is that lame of me as an artist to not be able to come up with? Yeah.
No.
Taylor Swift would never do that, but maybe she would.
Who knows?
She just knows. Taylor Swift knows what album she's going to put out 9 years before she does it. She's a mastermind.
If Taylor Swift did do that and you contributed to it and then she used a piece of your contribution, how good would you feel?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Listen, I'm not Taylor Swift. I got to do it my way. And,
my way.
My way or the highway?
Nikki Glaser.
My way.
Lil Gargoyle.
No, you throw that in again. Okay, we have to go. Thank you for listening to the show this week. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. We'll be back tomorrow with more podcasts. We love you guys so much. Don't be and just name my special for me, please. I don't know what